Dana does it again. It's your Maize and Blue Review update for Monday, February the 12th. And we start with the big game yesterday. Former Wolverine Mike Dana picked up his second Super Bowl ring with the Chiefs' 25-22 win last night in Super Bowl 58. On the other side, Jake Moody hit 55 and 53-yard field goals in the game. Moody's 55-yarder was a record that was broke a quarter later when the Chiefs kicker, Harrison Butker, made a 57-yarder. Michigan head coach Sharon Moore finds his defensive coordinator for 24. Late last week, Don Wink Martindale named as Michigan's new DC. Martindale spent the last 2 years as the coordinator of the Giants defense after having the same title for the Ravens for 4 years. With the news that Wink was in, it looked like Steve Clinkscale was going to stay in Ann Arbor for a minute, but Klink decides to depart and join the LA Chargers. Nothing official yet, but U of M is looking at Wisconsin D-line coach Greg Scruggs, a name to remember if you're a Michigan fan. Here's some audio of Kurt Campbell, U of M's new OC. Campbell was on the MGO Blue pod, and Campbell asked how quarterback Alex Orji fit in on offense a year ago.
One, he's extremely mature, right? He had the opportunity was never going to be too big for him, the moment, right? When he went out there, he wasn't going to have that gaze in his eyes. He was going to go out there and attack. So I think that was super important. Two, he's extremely gifted athletically. In the KPI system, the key performance indicators, he's number one on the team. So like all that athletic ability, we knew once he got the ball in his hands, he can shine. And then three, he knew the offense really well, right? So
Here's more Campbell on the same pod discussing U of M quarterback Jaden Denigal.
He's so big. He's going to thrive in live situations, breaking tackles, like a Ben Roethlisberger type that like something may not look pretty in practice, but in a game, that might not be a sack. It might be just an arm coming across his chest and he's shrugging it off. So
a Big Ben type, Denigal, says Kurt Campbell. The Wolverines signed 27 players in the early 2024 signing period, and they stayed at 27 until this week. 24 three-star signee Jaden Smith requested a release from his national letter of intent. So U of M's 24 class sits now with 26 players and currently stays at number 13 overall on Rivals.com. Team rankings. Because Jim Harbaugh left the program as head coach, current players and signees have a 30-day transfer window. Harbaugh left on Wednesday, January the 24th, so players have until February the 23rd to enter the portal. Michigan has 3 players committed right now to its 2025 recruiting class. 4-star tight end Eli Owens, defensive end Bobby Kanka from Howell, Michigan, and the 2023 Gatorade Player of the Year in Florida, Carter Smith. U of M has added a pair of players so far out of the transfer portal, linebacker Jayshawn Barham from Maryland, and the other U of M portal addition so far is Northwestern guard Josh Preeb. Both Preeb and Barham were officially added to the U of M football roster last week. U of M with 8 players that have put their names in the portal: Reese Atterbury, Matthew Hibner, Amarian Walker, Darius Clemens, Jake Thaw, CJ Stokes, Cameron Calhoun, and Joey Velasquez. Stokes headed to Charlotte, Clemens, Oregon State, Walker goes to Ole Miss, and Joey Velasquez today says he's going to walk on at Ohio State. The Michigan football spring game date is set. It's April the 20th, 4/20. The defending champs will hit the field for the first time since winning the title, the national title, back on January the 8th. To Michigan basketball, and the Wolverines got down by 30 in the first half to the Cornhuskers in Lincoln. U of M was down 20 at the half, and they ended up losing by 20, 79-59. That was the final. Namari Burnett, the only Wolverine player to reach double figures in scoring. He had 18 points. Wolverines head to Champaign tomorrow night to play against Illinois. Fighting Illini beat Michigan by 15 in January in Ann Arbor. Tip-off, Michigan, Illinois tomorrow, 7 o'clock. The game is on Peacock. Michigan women's basketball team, they topped Rutgers over the weekend, big by 28 points. Michigan now heads to number 2 Iowa for a Thursday night game against Caitlin Clark and the Hawkeyes. Clark is just 8 points away from breaking the women's all-time scoring record. See if she's able to do it Thursday against Michigan. The Michigan hockey team swept over the weekend by Michigan State. Spartans won 5-1 Friday at Yost, and then came back. MSU won the duel in the D on Saturday, 3-2. Michigan hockey now hits the road for this upcoming weekend for a pair of games at Penn State. Don't forget, you can join the Maize and Blue Review now free until spring. Go to michigan.rivals.com and use the code NATCHAMPS24. That's NATCHAMPS24. Offer is valid for a limited time. That's the latest on Michigan. Stay tuned for Good Afternoon Michigan football at the top of the hour. And for the latest on U of M, as always, go to the maizeandbluereview.com or michigan.rivals.com.